Good morning, children. We have already finished North India after Mauryas and Shungas, where we read about Kushan rulers and the last powerful ruler was Vasudev. Today we are going to start the new lesson, Gupta Empire, chapter 16. Children, there in between the few centuries, there were no large empire in India. But after the Kushan rulers, there was a gap. But after that, the next large empire was Gupta Empire. And this empire occupies a very important position in the history of India. It was established by Sri Gupta in 275 CE. CE means Common Era. He was succeeded by his son Ghatotkacha Gupta. He ruled from 280 CE to 319 CE. However, not much is known about these two rulers. That means Sri Gupta was the one who established this empire. But not much information is there in ancient history about these rulers. But we will come across some of the important rulers of Gupta Empire, and that is Chandragupta I, Chandragupta II, and Samudragupta. And these rulers occupies a very important position in the ancient history. You know, children, that Gupta Empire is also the golden period of Indian history. Now we will later discuss that why it is called a golden period. Number of contributions was given by them, number of achievements were there during this phase, and that's why this period is the golden period of ancient history. We will discuss one by one. First is Chandragupta I. He was succeeded by his father Ghatotkacha Gupta in the year 319 CE and ruled up to 335 CE. He was the first important ruler of this dynasty. Just now I told you that we will come across three important rulers, and one of the important ruler of this Gupta dynasty was Chandragupta I. It was during this period that the Gupta Empire expanded and their authority was established over almost the whole of North India. And he assumed the title of Maharaja Dhiraj. Please underline it, children. This is very important for you. That you can get a question that who was given the title or who assumed the title of Maharaj Dhiraj. So please underline it. It was Chandragupta I. After that, he was succeeded. After the Chandragupta I, Samudragupta succeeded. He was the next powerful ruler. He succeeded his father Chandragupta I in 335 CE. The three main sources of the period of Samudragupta are: number one, please underline it, inscriptions on the Ashoka's pillar at Allahabad, Iran, edicts and coins of Samudragupta. You know, children, coins of Samudragupta was very popular during this period. And these are the three sources: inscriptions on Ashoka's pillar at Allahabad, Iran edicts, and coins of Samudragupta. These are the three sources through which we can get a lot of information about Samudragupta. Samudragupta was also known as for his military campaigns to north, east, south of India, which established his sovereignty but not his direct rule. You know what does it mean, this line? Which established his sovereignty but not his direct rule. That means Lots of military campaigns took place by Samudragupta in north, east, south direction. His direct rule was not being established over there, but his sovereignty was there. That means Samudragupta's name and fame was there in these directions where he took these military campaigns. That means there was a greater impact of Samudragupta on these regions. He was also known as Napoleon of India. Please underline it. This is also very important. He was known as the Napoleon of India. Like Napoleon, he was also having the dreams to conquer entire parts of India. That's why he was been given the title Napoleon. But the Gupta Empire was not as large as that of Mauryas. We get a lot of information about Samudragupta from Prasasti by poet Harisena of his court. Underline that. This is also very important. Prasasti. Who has written this Prasasti? Prasasti means in praise of, by poet Harisena, who was in the court of Samudragupta, and he has praised about his military campaigns, about his style of administration in his poem Prasasti. About whom? About Samudragupta. Next, he was succeeded by Chandragupta II. He was the son of Samudragupta and succeeded him in 375 CE. And according to an inscription on the iron pillar at Mehrauli near Qutub Minar, if you will visit this Mehrauli near Qutub Minar, Delhi, you will see a rust-free iron pillar. That means, as I told you, that Gupta period was called a golden period. Now let's discuss that why it was called a golden period. Let me tell you one thing, that the iron pillar that was made during that time there was an alloy. The composition of the alloy was such a good that still after so many years and centuries has been passed, still a little bit rust has not been there in this pillar. And you will see it has been bound, all sides are been bounded by a fence like that, so that nobody can touch. And it's a very beautiful place in Delhi to see our historical achievements. He assumed the title of Vikramaditya. The inscriptions also tells about the victory campaigns of Chandragupta. Absolutely. If you see this Qutub Minar, that iron pillar at Mehrauli near Qutub Minar, it also shows, it depicts, it tells about the victory campaigns of Chandragupta. Chandragupta was not only a great warrior, warrior means Yodha, and an able administrator, but also a great patron of art and learning. He made many scholars, poets and artists in his court. The best 9 were known as Navratna. Nav means 9. Ratna means gems. 9 gems was there in the court of Chandragupta, and Kalidas was one of them. He was a renowned poet of his court. So Kalidas was one of the renowned and famous poet of Chandragupta. We will discuss also about all the 9 Navratnas, 9 gems, who was there during that time. So children, in my next class we will do it. So please go through the video. Okay. So what we discussed today about, this is all about the Gupta Empire. You can see here the boundaries of Gupta Empire. Let me show you this. This is the boundaries of Gupta Empire. And this arrow mark is about the military campaigns of Samudra Gupta. Military campaigns of Samudra Gupta. Okay. Then we studied about who was the person who established this Gupta Empire, Sri Gupta. After that he was succeeded by his son Ghatotkacha Gupta. Then the important rulers were Chandragupta I, Samudragupta, and also Chandragupta II. We discussed about their achievements, how for his achievements Samudragupta was called Napoleon of India because he had conquered lots of territories. Then who was given the title Maharaj Dhiraj? Chandragupta I. Chandragupta II was the ruler who was given the title Vikramaditya, and 9 gems were there in his court, and that's why it was called Navratna, and Kalidas was one of them. So please go through the video, children, and this chapter is very, very important for you, and whatever lines I have marked, please go through it. It's important for you. So thank you, children.